Hello everyone, today we are going to be previewing Onimusha 2 Samurai's Destiny, a remaster of Capcom's cult classic from 2002. Before I get started, I would like to give a massive shout out to Capcom for providing me with early access to Onimusha 2. You are absolute legends and you have my eternal gratitude. If you haven't done already, please remember to hit the subscribe button and also like this video as it helps me out massively. Also, please feel free to leave comments and talk to me about what you think about Onimusha 2. Right, let's get into it. I'll admit this right now. Out of all the Onimushas, this one was my least favourite. Well, at least from what I can remember of it. As a massive fan of the Resident Evil franchise when the first Onimusha came out, you can imagine my excitement as I got to dive into a similar system but with samurai swords and demons. It felt like a match made in heaven, or hell, or whatever. Imagine my surprise when, after years of essentially erasing most of Onimusha 2 from my mind, how much I was sucked in by the remaster. I'm now starting to wonder if I really played it at all back in the day. Strange. Anyway, you take on the role of Jubei Yagyu, first leader of the Yagyu clan, and all-round badass swordsman. The year is 1573, and while Jubei is away training, the Yagyu village is attacked by demons thanks to the naughty Nobunaga. Upon his return, he finds most of the villagers dead and the village in tatters. Shortly after arriving, he is summoned by an Oni woman called Takajo, who reveals she is his mother, gives him an Oni mark, the charity orb, and tells him to go and prove his identity at a nearby dragon shrine, granting him an Oni weapon, the Buraitu. From here, Jubei vows revenge for his village and sets out to kick Nobunaga's ass. I'd honestly forgotten how tongue-in-cheek most of the characters are in Onimusha 2. Jubei tends to be the serious one, while all the other characters, even the demons, have an air of comedy about them, utilising that famous Capcom lightheartedness we all know and love. The first boss you encounter, Gigan Fatsu, sets the tone for this, laughing in the face of our hero when he tells him the Yagyu clan is better than the demon clan. This makes the demons slightly less intimidating, but honestly, I think it's brilliant. Obviously, a massive shout out goes to Gogen Dantes. If you know, you know. It's not only the enemy demons that are entertaining, the regular Joes are a lot of fun too. I'd forgotten this game is also a friend simulator, and there's a lot to gain from managing your relationships with the bombastic characters you meet, and depending how you treat them, affects your path through the game, which is also brilliant. Now, Capcom are no stranger to remasters and tend to do a great job when it comes to making old games playable on new hardware. Onimusha 2 is no different. The graphics are very crisp and the background textures are also very polished, which is always a plus. Along with this, the frame rate is running at a smooth 60 FPS, making general moment-to-moment gameplay an absolute joy. It meant things like the IS encounters also felt easier to pull off, which are like regular counters, but instead of a dedicated parry button, you press the attack button before the enemy attack hits to make Jubei respond with an advancing slash that will ignore the enemy hit and of course deal them damage, usually killing them outright. It's always a pleasure pulling these off, and in a way it's actually better than most parry systems in other games. The IS encounter introduces a very risk-reward system where you have to commit to the timing. Get it wrong and you face some serious consequences. Much like fighting games, which of course Capcom knows a thing or two about. The fighting in general feels improved as the controls have been modernised, so you now have full 360 movement, making combat much better. I'm a big fan of tank controls in horror games, and back in 2002 I can see why they would have ported the system over to a similarly systemed game, but tank controls will always shine brightly in survival horror games, and in action, not so much. This change was much needed, although if you really want to go back to tank controls, you can just use the D-pad. Other noticeable changes include the ability to now change weapons on the fly by holding down L2 and pressing left or right, and Oni mode not activating automatically but now by pressing both L2 and R2, which is decent. So far, I've been really enjoying my time with Onimusha 2. Like I said at the start, I have this vague memory of not quite vibing with Onimusha 2 back in the day, but now I can't put it down. And I cannot wait to play more upon release on the 23rd of May. Well, thank you everyone for watching my preview of Onimusha 2 Samurai's Destiny. I'd really like to know what you think of this video and the game as and when you get a chance to play it. As always, I'd like to give a massive shout out to my patrons for your support. You are all absolutely amazing. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. If you like what you've watched today, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also like this video. As always, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's been watching deep dives, everyone that's subbed to the channel, and also a big thank you for all your support, comments and general feedback. You are all fantastic. Please keep the comments and feedback coming. If you want to keep up to date with what I'm up to, please follow me on Twitter/X at DonPedroX for regular updates on upcoming videos and other thoughts from my brain. If you like what I do and fancy supporting me, I have a Patreon. I'd like to do these videos more often, so any support you can give would be amazing. Right, see you next time.